Good morning, listeners. It's 9:30 a.m, Friday the 3rd of May already. It's May already. And this is Wairarapawatch on Arrow FM 92.7. And the programme this morning is sponsored by Transit Tours, who would like you to get off the beaten track and explore the country with www.transittours.co.nz. My name's Robin Weaver, and with me is my wife, Val. Morning,
Good morning,
Val.
folks.
And in the studio with us today, we have...
Ali
Cockram. Sorry,
Yes.
Ali. Suddenly had a blank there for a minute, talking about tourists. So, good morning, Ali.
Good morning.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming in today, Ali. We really appreciate your time. So can you tell us what's in store for the people that want to take up your tours?
You want a rundown on what we've got coming up?
Yeah.
Sure. Our next tour actually is next week, which I'm heading off on, but so that's probably a bit late if anyone wants to book. But it's a little short tour over one of our less travelled roads, the Gentilani, which takes you between Taihape and Napier.
Oh, right.
And there's some amazing unexplored country up in there, some big North Island sheep stations, so yeah. And then we've got one of our big tours coming up is our Canberra trip, one of our overseas trips for the year.
Oh, so you do go overseas then with your
trip?
brilliant.
Mainly to Australia. So we do an annual tour to Australia and sort of pick an area that either we haven't been to before, which is Canberra, or we do some of our repeats that people have really loved, such as Tasmania. That's always a really popular destination, and Cairns is another really popular one as well. So
I love Hobart. I think it's a lovely city.
It is. Yeah.
It's very much like New Zealand. We reckon, and we've been there. It's Tasmania. It's a lot like New Zealand.
It is in an Australian sort of way. That's how I like to put it anyway.
And the people are very, to us, they were very New Zealander too. They were very soft-natured and welcoming.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish there.
Oh, okay. I haven't been there for a while. Someone else has nabbed that tour, but but yes, I have been a few years ago now.
It was a while back when we were there.
It was, But amazing though, all the same. And what about we're interested in the Great Barrier Reef one that you do.
Great Barrier Island.
Great Barrier Island. That's the one.
Yeah.
Now, what would we see if we went there? What kind of a trip would that be?
Have you been to the Coromandel before?
Yes.
Because it's similar geologically to that, only it's more isolated, and it's definitely an island feel and an island community, but there's lots of amazing volcanic outcrops, beautiful beaches that you hardly see anybody on, really uncrowded beaches. On the eastern side there's really good surf beaches, on the western side more sheltered beaches for swimming. Lots of walking. You sort of would need to be reasonably fit to take advantage of the attractions of this tour. We stay at a place near the beach, so you've got access to the beach for swimming after the day's touring. Really good food. Food's really important to people.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You've got to get that sustenance for the next day's travelling, haven't you?
So they've got remnants of kauri forest, bird life, some interesting bird life that is not found on the mainland, because the islands tend to be sanctuaries for endangered bird species. So they've got patiki, which is the little brown teal, and they've got thousands of kaka, which are becoming more common on the mainland now.
Brilliant.
What else do they have? A tiny little bird called a banded rail, which is like a mini weka. So really interesting for people who are keen on nature and And
how long is that trip?
It's a 5-day tour.
A 5-day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting little flight out to the island on 10-seater aircraft from Auckland Airport, though. So you've got to be a wee bit adventurous. Yeah.
So is it just for 10 people, that particular
No, we can take up to 18 people.
Okay.
But it's a nice small group.
2 flights out.
Yeah, 2 flights, yes.
Okay.
It's got a nice small group feel, though, definitely.
I love those
Yeah.
little aircraft, little
Yeah.
otters.
Yeah. Yeah, we were in Hawaii for Christmas one time, and we went from the main island across to Maui, and we had to take one of those little flights,
Little otter aircraft.
a little otter aircraft
Oh, okay.
across to Maui,
Yeah.
and the pilot was the Kiwi. He was a Maori boy, wasn't he?
Oh, okay.
And he had his
yeah.
Christmas hat on. It just looked the weirdest thing coming from New Zealand. You wouldn't expect to see a
No,
Kiwi
no, unexpected,
pilot.
right,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
so
you must come across all sorts of incidents of strange things that's a bit of out of place. What's that doing here?
Yeah, we do, yeah. And we have to deal with some interesting incidents as well. Like, for example, flights to islands can be, reasonably
the weather.
precarious.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah, the last time I flew back from Great Barrier, it was completely white out, and I was my knuckles were white, holding onto the seats and hope they know where they're going. 'Cause
Yeah.
yeah.
But you have a flyer that comes out, don't you? Not so much a flyer as
a newsletter.
a
yeah.
newsletter
Yeah.
coming out every now and again. How often does that come out?
It's every 2 months.
2 months,
We
yeah, because
thought
we
it
get
was.
it, don't we? But
Yeah.
we weren't sure of exactly how often we get it. So it's every 2 months it comes out, and that gives you an idea of what
we have coming up.
Yeah.
Day
and
trips,
you-
shows.
And you have to be
Yeah.
quick, folks, because it says
Yeah.
fully booked, waiting list only,
Yeah,
fully
there's
booked.
often waiting lists, aren't there, Ali?
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
Not for everything though. So it's definitely worth giving us a call, and we do run a wait list, so which is important because with our age group that we are dealing with, you get a lot of cancellations.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the likelihood is that you won't miss out.
Yeah.
If you go on a
That's
waiting
right,
list, then
yeah.
you definitely
We
as a possibility.
our waiting list is very mobile.
Yeah.
So there is definitely always a chance that people will get on a tour,
Yeah.
even though they feel like they have missed out at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
right.
okay. So you get a lot of fallout because of the
Yes,
age group.
Age group mainly. I mean, illness, various
yeah.
reasons. Yeah. Yeah.
Medical appointments and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
I know how they feel.
And how do you go about your accommodation? Do you have to source that? Do you have to physically go and source out the accommodation, or you just go by ear? Or
No, we because we've been doing it for quite a long time, we have a feel for and have reliable accommodation that we use in places. It's not always possible. It's not really feasible for us to go touring the country to check out attractions and accommodation. But having said that, we do occasionally get to do that when we're on holiday, on leave. My husband and I will often check things out.
Yeah.
A new attraction, for example. Yes, so generally it's down to reliability, and we tend to use hotels because they are more suited to what we our needs. Dining in is much more convenient
Yes.
than
Oh,
having
yeah.
to go out for dinner from a motel.
and breakfast, of course, is the most important meal. So
Yes, yeah.
everything's all ready for them to
Yeah.
come down to.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we need to have about 20 rooms available to us as well, so that limits us
Oh, of course,
in some
yeah.
places. Having said that, our motto is to get out and about, off the beaten track, so we do our best with sourcing accommodation in areas that are not so well travelled. Yeah.
So you must
Yeah.
plan them months ahead.
Oh, the accommodation is our number one thing. We get that locked in first
Yeah.
before we can do anything else. So that's a year out. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So have you got the accommodation, and have you got somewhere to park the bus?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's the priority as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, well, is there anything that you want to tell us about that's upcoming, like your next trip, for instance? Is that fully booked?
It is fully booked, yes. But we have still got spaces on our Canberra tour if anyone's interested in an overseas trip. It's a spring themed tour going to quite a well-known event over there called the Canberra Spring Floriade, which is a beautiful spring event that they hold every year. It includes, so it helps to be garden interested, but it's a tour that has also got lots of other general interest attractions in it as well. And then we've got plenty of domestic tours coming up. We've got a tour we call Mountains to Sea, which goes up to the chateau, stays a couple of nights at the chateau.
Oh, that would be nice.
And yeah, it is. It's lovely, beautiful there. Especially if there's still some snow on the mountains, which there will be.
It's a winter trip.
Yeah, it's sort of early spring, sort of October, so there would still be snow around. Yeah, it's just whether or not you can see the mountains is sometimes an issue.
From us, yeah.
Yeah, they do hide, don't they? Yeah, yeah. And we go to a little town called Raglan, which we don't get to do very often. Just general interest tour that. Takes people to lesser known places, which is what we do with most of our tours.
Try to do some of the stations as well.
Yes, our big high country
stations,
South Island stations. I've just done a series of those over March and April.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, those are my faves actually.
Yes,
yeah.
Countryside, then the views are awesome.
Getting into the beautiful tussock glaciated valleys and up near the Southern Alps, and it's quite magic, really. Yeah,
and you don't know that these places exist until you guys get in there with a bus.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, I had a recent. We stopped for morning tea on one of our high country tours recently at a little place called Lake Heron, which is up in behind the Mount Hutt ranges, getting in towards the Southern Alps. Beautiful, perfect day. The lake was still, except for the odd little ripple from a trout, and we stopped there for morning tea. And one of my passengers said to me, "Just think, this happens every day, and hardly anyone ever sees it."
Yeah,
and so that was a really memorable comment for me, because it's true,
it's
and
very true.
Just such a perfect day and such a perfect, reflected. The mountains were reflected in the lake. It was
magic.
It was magical.
Yeah. We are very lucky, aren't we, to live in New Zealand, really, and have sites like that.
Yeah.
It is memorable and magical.
So with the Canberra tour, you have to have a passport.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, valid for 6 months.
Yes.
Beyond the date that you're going. Yeah. You don't need a visa anymore, though, do we?
Not New Zealanders don't, but if you
like
people with British or German or whatever passports need to get a visa, but we don't have. There are only a handful of those people that travel with us that do require them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yes, nice and easy.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered most of it, haven't we? Is there anything we've missed out that you want to tell us about?
Oh, well, we've got just a couple more tours that we've got coming up. Greenstone Trail in November.
Okay.
Which is down a West Coast tour, South Island West Coast. It's a pretty stunning area.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And I'm just working on a heritage and gardens tour of Canterbury, inland Canterbury at the moment.
Okay.
So there's a lot of history, big old station homesteads and beautiful gardens, and a lot of early Canterbury history that we're sort of trying to uncover with that one. Yeah, so that's a November tour.
You've got an amazing job, haven't you?
I do. Yes, I admit it.
Envy.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Hold on, I want to find out what's the funniest incident you've come across on these tours.
You might not have prepared her for that.
Well, I can't think of the funniest, but a recent one last year on our Christmas tour. It was the first day of the tour, and we'd stopped for lunch, a picnic lunch at a garden and a public garden in Christchurch. And one of our passengers, who's quite renowned for going wandering and not coming back at the designated time, we actually accidentally locked her in the coach. We thought everyone had got out of the coach, so we shut the door and off getting lunch organised for the passengers, and here she was ringing She rang work to get my number to ring me to to let her out of the coach.
Well, that made sure she didn't wander off.
Exactly.
Oh, dear me.
So finally she got hold of me on my cell phone.
Oh, dear. But
Classic.
she was still able to go and see all the sights.
She
herself,
was, yeah.
right?
It was only for like 20 minutes or so. But
Well, there's just the thought of missing out on lunch or morning tea. Or whatever.
Yeah. And the sights. Yeah, I wouldn't want to miss out on the sights after booking my trip.
Yeah, getting locked. How did you enjoy your trip? Oh, I was locked in the bus.
yeah,
Oh, brilliant.
she wasn't a happy little camper, I have to say.
All right then. So this time next month, we will be talking to someone else from Transit that will be telling us about their particular part of the job.
Yeah.
So meantime, thank you very much for coming in, Ali. We really appreciate your time. And you have
we
a
know
lovely
you're a busy
day.
lady.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah. Now I head back to finish working on my new tour.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so we're going to play a piece of music that is fitting to what we've been talking about, and it is I've Been Everywhere Man. Have you got it organised, Rob?
oh, pretty much. All I need is somebody to stop talking and we're away.
Well, I was hitching a ride on a winding Hokitika road when along came a lorry with a high-end canvas-covered load.
If you're going to Hokitika, mate, with me you can ride.
So I jumped into the cabin and I settled down inside. He asked me if I'd seen a road with so much dust and sand, and I said, look, listen, mate, I've been every road in this here land. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Kaharo, Whangaro, Akaro, Moraweka, Taramo, Benmo, Pongaro, Hororeka, Waka, Mataka, Tigaraka, Waka, New Hakawana, Hakamoto, Hurawai, Kakamotanui, Hakanui, Papanui, Wainui, Matawai, Rangatai, Pikawai. I'm a guy, I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've crossed the desert bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Woodville, Dagabo, Lumsden, Catticati, Naisby, Cambridge, Pottero, Mataro, Hastings, Tiki Tiki, Tauranga, Hawkland, Nainai, Wataha, Hamilton, Poro, Tapu, Timaru, Amaru, Tihoi, Awanui, Wanganui, Pamanui, Latahui. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've crossed the desert bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Featherstone, Palmerston, Woolston, Te Awamutu, Riverton, Queenstown, Picton, Huni, Mutu, Waredi, Coredi, Rotorua, Kaikura, Maramara, Ruakur, Ikamatua, Papakura, Waitaki, Poo, Kakitara, Nakitakafala, Ubara, Ukawai, Matawara, what's the matter? I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've crossed the desert bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
No, come on,
Rotoki,
mate.
Marahuru, Taupari, Makatu, Kaiburn, Salburn, Wedderburn, Mossburn, Washdyke, Arafata, Paparoa, Pongatera, Thames, Kiri, Coconut, Tapanui, Paranui, Tawanui, Otahuhu, Muratapa, Moskio, Waterford, Watsashore. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've crossed the desert bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
No, come on, mate.
Kapiti, Waka, Onapu, Reparo, Tongariro, Tungawana, Marinway, Papamoa, Karatani, Oxford, Pari, Hakakarutu, Colgate, Whitecliffs, Urunuri, Mamaku, Waimea, Waharo, Dannyburg, Nahiri, Gordonton, Kingston, Oban. How you been? I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've crossed the desert bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been here, there, everywhere. I've been everywhere.
You can go too.
Oh, come on, Rob. Yeah, I know you got us out of a spot here, Bernie, but thanks. No, I'm here. Where are you headed for?
Mate, I'm heading for Wairarapa up north.
Oh, way up there, right? Have you ever been to Tuakau?
Ah, yes, I've been down that far south.
Or Waikikamuko?
I've heard of it, but never been
Carfield?
there.
5 Rivers? Frog Flat Junction?
That sounds interesting, but no.
But have you met any girls in Harry Huddy?
Well, that could be telling.
Pangaparutu? Dag Sound. Now there's a good place.
That sounds an interesting place.
Yeah, bluff, mate. Yeah.
We like to relate it.
There we go, folks. John Grinnell and I've been everywhere, man, just like the rest of Transit Tour people.
Yes.
They've been everywhere. So they recommend that you get yourself onto their distribution list. which is their free travel guide, which is at www.transit with a z.co.nz. So it's 9:50 a.m. and it's Friday the 3rd of May. This is Wairarapawatch on ROFM 92.7. The programme sponsored by Transit Tours. I'm Robin Weaver and my wife Val is here with me this morning. Morning, Val.
Hello, guys.
In the studio today we have Mr. David Johnson.
Pleased to be here.
Who's going to be talking about the Festival of One-Act Plays, yeah?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent.
Well, thank you very much for coming in today,
That's
David.
not a
We
problem
appreciate
at
your
all.
time.
Yeah.
So can you tell us all about this One-Act Festival?
Well, the One Act Festival, it's an idea that Limelight's had, and we've done it a couple of years now. And it's really an opportunity for people to come along, put together a small play or performance or anything, any length. By 1 act, we mean don't go longer than half an hour. So
Okay.
it's a nice short environment. It can be 5 minutes long, up to half an hour roughly.
Okay.
They get together, they rehearse, do everything, and then come down to the event centre on the Saturday and perform it. We're there to facilitate them getting into the event centre and sort them out rather than actually direct all these shows and things like that. So we've asked people from across the whole Wairarapa to come down and give it a go.
Okay.
You've done these before, haven't you?
This is probably about our third time.
Right.
Now, and it very much is a fun participation one. We do have the audience voting on which one they enjoy the most.
Yes.
But it's all really to do with participation rather than a competition that they're going on to next round.
Yeah.
So it's more come out there, see if you can do it. There's no pressure. You're not trying to make a profit from the show or
Right.
Yeah.
run it for a series. It's just come down and enjoy yourself and
An opportunity to see if you can do it.
So you
Yeah,
don't
it-
have to have any experience at all?
none
As
whatsoever.
a director, an
No,
actor,
no.
a musician?
No vetting, just the willingness to go out there and give it a go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So how many acts are you going to have? It is tomorrow night,
It
isn't
is indeed tomorrow night, 7:30 at the event centre in Carterton. We
Oh,
have
it should
got
be fun.
Yeah.
we've got 5 groups coming on. One of the groups has got a play that they've devised themselves, which we're going to separate into 3 chunks through the night, sort of bounce it around.
Oh, okay.
Because they got effectively it's from the junior group down at Harlequin have devised a play over the last 5 weeks, and they're putting on the 3 scenes from it as 3 little separate acts. But so we've got teams from, like as I said, across the Wairarapa. We've got the 2 representatives for the Shakespeare National Festival are actually going to put on their performances. So the 5-minute performance from Wycol, from an extract from King Lear, and a 15-minute extract from they're going to I've forgotten the name of the play. I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, 50-minute thing for Kuanui College and their group, and now and those are very good performances that they put on, and they've qualified through to get through to the Wellington Nationals for a Sheila Wynne Shakespeare competition. So they're taking advantage that we provided the opportunity to get down, have a
Right.
bit more practice, and show it.
So when you come to do this sort of thing, you have your idea. This is your idea. This is
Yeah.
what you want to do. This one act festival of yours. Do you go to the schools or anyone? How do you get your people?
We sent out the word through either Facebook or through emails, or approached various groups to see if they had anybody they were interested in. It's been going on for about a couple of months beforehand to pull them together. My son's at Wycol, so I had an in there to see if I could get
an
the team in
inside
there.
job, right?
That's an
brilliant.
inside job. And we've got contacts down at Kuanui College. Future years, we're more than keen to have colleges and everyone else involved. This year, in fact, we've got probably 98% of the participants are actually under 18. We've got a few
Excellent.
adults acting.
Well, that's really
but,
good, isn't it, to bring
there's
the
many
youth
of-
into theatre?
We are really keen to
Yeah.
get that going and
Yeah.
keep encouraging them, because they do a lot at the colleges themselves. This takes them outside the college environment and brings in to an audience that may not go to the college performances, because they just think of them, it's a school play and things like that. But there's a lot of talent in these colleges across the whole region, and we'd just like to provide a means and opportunity for them to come out and do a small performance, because to rehearse for a big season, a 9 thing, can take a lot of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
be in rehearsals 3 months, and
There's a lot of commitment, isn't there?
To be honest, it's not just teenagers that struggle to get the time together to do those shows. So it's an opportunity to just look a little smaller, but still get a chance to perform
even
out.
writing a 15-minute play for a start, that is unique.
Yeah.
I mean, in half an hour you could do an episode of Fawlty Towers.
Indeed. But yeah, so what they do is they get the opportunity. They either use a play that's been written, or they can do it themselves. We're more than happy to encourage local playwrights to get a group together and act their play out as well. It gives them an opportunity to see what it's like live and things
leading
like
up to tomorrow night, then how many hours has it taken, like for the rehearsals and etc.?
To be honest, I don't know that, because I've stuck well clear of the productions themselves.
I see.
But
there's still a lot of work.
Behind the scenes, there's a lot of work. Like I know the Shakespeare groups, because they've already had one round of performances, but they were rehearsing for weeks beforehand, just after school and sort of thing. But a lot of that is student driven as well. So it's not like the teacher saying you must turn up.
Okay.
They're getting together after school, meeting up at various halls just to do a quick rehearsal for bits. Even a 5-minute play requires a bit of.
And it's their own project, isn't it? So they'd be very keen to get it right.
And what's more, there's no marks for this. They're just out there doing it because they want to.
And giving them a feel of the boards.
Yeah, and so we're out there just to encourage them and let them go for it.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
who does the props and all that sort of stuff, David?
Each of the groups is responsible for pulling it all together, so it gives them an idea of how to pull a play together. What we've done is we've arranged the hall, and I help out with getting the lighting and the sound going for them. But
That's a big job in itself.
They come in going, we want this playing in the background, so I can set it all up. And that's more because I know how the kit works in the event centre, so I can do it faster.
Sure.
I'd be more than happy to let them do it all themselves, but that just slows the whole process down.
Brett and Simon know that place inside out.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So between the three of us, we get it all sorted out really quickly.
Yeah. So I think we went a couple of years ago to one, and they had the seating going up. Is it going to be like that this time
We actually
round?
do have the full seating block in place.
You do?
We do, so that they'll get a good feeling of how big the environment it could be. It's quite useful because we probably got about 60 or so people across the 5 groups acting on stage, so they need somewhere to sit. So to have the full seating block in place is actually quite a nice experience. If we get all of those, if the seats full, it'd be an amazing experience for Carterton. But
and is it just the one night?
It is just the one night.
One-night stand.
It's a one-night stand. It's just go out and enjoy themselves. And again, it means that they can come in there and just do it.
Yeah.
Without having to try and work out a whole 2 weeks worth of sorting life around it, because a lot of these teenagers have jobs as well as having to get to college and things
study,
like that and study. So it's just a nice way of letting them get more experience on stage without messing around of tying themselves up.
And how about directors that want? There will be directors doing the first directing.
Absolutely, it gives them. Well, I hope it gives them a sort of safe environment to mess up if needed. But and just to get experience of what it's like to put a play on, but in front of an audience, and what you actually have to watch out for. There's sort of you can go on courses and all the other side of it, but that'll teach you all the stuff, but that requires a lot of time, commitment, and unfortunately money when it comes down to it. But this gives you a chance to go out there and go, I can see now why a director has done it in a particular way, why they have to not look upstage, look downstage, all those little things that you don't realise go into the stagecraft when it comes down to it.
What do you do if your main actor freezes?
Again, it gives the actors the chance to actually also know what happens if I forget lines and things like that. School shows, the standard for a school play these days is well above my day.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
They are a lot. The students themselves are keener to produce a quality play with good acting and everything like that, because they see it happening around them so much these days.
Of course, far more now than in our day. I mean, look at what they're exposed to.
Indeed,
and what their aspirations would be so high, wouldn't they? So it's understandable.
So they set their own targets, and
Yeah.
they're quite strict in the sales, I've noticed. So,
And it helps them to get the timing right as well, because and timing can destroy an act.
It does. And when it also comes down to it, all these skills that they're learning on stage and things will just help them outside of the theatre in
Managing
real
it.
life.
Yeah.
Managing time, confidence in front of people. Even if you're terrified inside,
Yeah.
you can just carry on talking
Yeah.
and trying to get your message across, things like that.
And have you got various genres you'll be doing, from comedy to tragedy?
I believe so. I have to admit, the devised play, I have no idea what it's going to be like, so we're going to
Okay.
find out. We've got the Shakespeare side of things, which one's extracts all the way through from from a play, so it's bits of it. So it's just a performance on stage, which comes out really well. The King Lear is a very solid side of it. There's modern set times. There's one set sort of during war and exchange of letters and side of it. So they're all different styles, different approaches.
Okay.
But again, it's more get out there, have fun, and see what the audience likes. And we're not not having a marking done on you did everything perfectly, but your stagecraft was terrible. If the audience enjoy the show,
Yeah.
vote for your best show type stuff.
And
So
have you had good response from the public for this?
it does seem to be, yeah. We've
Excellent.
we just put the ticket sales up online because it's a good way of advertising.
Yeah.
And we've already got sort of like over 30 of things come in, but I do expect it actually to be quite a door sales night.
Can you be there are door
There
sales,
are absolutely door sales. Adults
good.
and adults are $10
Yeah.
and students are $5.
Oh, that's incredible.
Can't ask better than that, can
Yeah.
you?
Oh, absolutely. And it's that's one of the things I would love to see in the future, is to be able to pull down the price for
Yeah.
live theatre all the time. It's an expensive business to put on,
Yeah.
but if I can find ways and means of bringing the price
Yeah.
down, just so
Yeah.
that people can get out there and see it,
Yeah.
because
It's the hall itself price that really brings it up.
well,
isn't it?
there's the whole price. There's the rights to a play if you're doing a big one, because you have to pay for every night that it's on. If you decide to go for more sets, more props and stuff like that, all the costs in the background just start adding up. The rights is the big one, to be more than anything honest.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
Oh, of course, you
Yeah.
have to have the rights.
you have to
yeah.
pay for the rights. So a play is typically $90 a day when you're performing it. Musicals, looking at twice that.
Really?
Yeah, so that's sort of when people sort of sitting there going, "Oh, they seem very expensive." We're having to pay other people as well behind the scenes. It's not we didn't just make it up. And so when someone goes, "Oh, can you do one of the big West End musicals on?" you go, "No,"
No.
because they also restrict the rights and
Yeah.
put it out. So
Yeah.
so the one act gives us a chance to put on a performance relatively cheaply.
Because it can be an extract from a play.
It can be extract from
Yeah.
play. It can be your own play. You still have the thing, but it's only one night's rights
One
that we
act,
have
yeah.
to cover. And what we do is the groups themselves sort out the rights for their performances, and
Okay.
we work on the hall and the marketing and things like that. So the cost is spread across.
So you sponsored, David?
We have got a grant from Creative Communities.
Excellent.
Sort of to help us put this on,
That's
and again
great.
keep the price down, because we want people to come out.
Yeah.
And in this day and age where Netflix is $15 a month, and cinema is still a competitor when it comes down to it for people who are going out there, we wanted to price the tickets well below.
So you'd love to be talking to a sponsor sometimes. So if you're listening, folks.
We would love a sponsor with any income from anywhere, just because we want. If we have to fund it from ticket prices, it prices us out all the time. So we'd love to bring the price down and be able to fund from different sources and just get more people coming out.
Yeah, because you can't get a grant from Creative Communities year after year after year, can you?
No.
Well, you can keep putting in the application, but there's more and more people asking all the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and the money is limited, which is fair enough, because it's
Yes,
being shared
indeed.
across the entire environment. And if I knew we were going to get 200 people showing up all the time, the price could be lower, but people have lives as well. You can't get people. There's so much to do in Wairarapa these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just have to fit in and.
So you heard it here, folks. One Act Festival
Yeah.
would love to have a sponsor. So
Yeah. I think
So,
they
yeah,
need one
so-
too, because it's a worthy cause, isn't it?
is indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to have. We've got lots of talent.
There are lots
in
of
this
talent out there.
area.
We'd like it to.
Yeah.
And we do try and do it every year, and again, we're not actually tied into any of the big. There are various one-act competitions that go across it, but we want just go for it and enjoy yourself.
Yep.
Use this as a practice field if you're wanting to enter the competitions. And
so, how many acts are we likely to see then? Did you
today, there's 5 groups, but one's doing 3 little performances, so
Yeah.
it actually works out to be about 7 different performances,
Okay.
ranging from 5 minutes to 20 minutes long type thing. So it's an entertainment of different experiences. More than anything.
So for $10, it's a good evening out.
I think
that's
it'll be a
that's
great
how we're
evening,
looking at
mate,
it.
yeah.
What time are we starting,
We're
David?
starting at 7.
7 o'clock?
Yep.
At the event centre
At
in
the event
Holloway
centre
Street?
in Holloway Street,
Yep.
indeed.
Cardston. So that'll be fantastic.
Oh, brilliant.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, David,
That's
and
okay,
telling
no
us all
problem.
about that. That's brilliant.
It's been brilliant.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about it?
I think we've covered a quite fair chunk of it. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what the various groups have got for us. So,
Yeah.
And I trust all your would-be actors are out there.
I do believe they're out there working, and a lot of them are looking forward to it because they just love getting out there and performing.
Yes.
What I've seen, so.
Yeah. I think this is
Fantastic.
it with most young ones now, isn't it? They all want to be stars, don't they? And rightly so too. They have no inhibitions, do
No,
they, today?
but, and at
Yeah.
least these like doing the one act stuff also shows them the less interesting side of being a star, like having to hang around and planning and sorting. So it gives them that worldwide experience on it. So
Yeah, brilliant. Okay then, David, that's brilliant. So we're going to play a tune now.
We're going to play Act Naturally from the Beatles. It's the original recording by the Beatles. Ringo Starr doing the vocal,
Yeah.
which was unusual.
Yeah.
So here we go.
We thought this would be appropriate for what we've been
Yeah.
talking about. And good luck, David.
yeah, indeed.
All
Thank
the
you very
best.
much.
Good
Cheers.
luck with everybody concerned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed.
Brilliant.
We'll just hit that. And
Go. They're gonna put me in the movies. They're gonna make a big star out of me. We'll make a film about a man that's sad and lonely. And all I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Win an Oscar, you can never tell. The movie's gonna make me a big star. 'Cause I can play the part so well. Well, I hope you'll come and see me in the movie. Then I'll know that you will plainly see the biggest fool that ever hit the big time. And all I gotta do is act naturally. We'll make a scene about a man that's sad and lonely, bending down upon his bended knee. I'll play the part and I won't need rehearsing. All I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I bet you I'm gonna be a big star. I'd win an Oscar, you can never tell. The movie's gonna make me a big star. 'Cause I can play the part so well. Well, I hope you'll come and see me in the movie. Then I'll know that you will plainly see the biggest fool that ever hit the big time. And all I gotta do is act naturally.
thank you, Ringo. And we're back with... You're on D. Yep.
D.
We're back with Wairarapawatch, and it is nearly just coming up to 10:10 on Friday morning, the 3rd of May.
Right.
And you're listening to Wairarapawatch on Arrow FM 92.7, a programme sponsored by Transit Tours. That's Transit with a Z. And you can sign up to their travel club today. I was going to say travel club. And I think
Get
it's
your
quite that.
mouth straight, Rob.
Travel Club today at www.transittours, that's transit with a Z, transittours.co.nz, and you'll have a wonderful time with them. We just had Ali Cochrane talking about her tours, and they obviously have a wonderful time. So
we've just got time now for the rest of our programme. We can go through some things that are happening in the area within the next couple of weeks. One thing in particular we do want to mention is Migrant Journeys 2. We've had the Journeys 1 at Aratoy, and it was really interesting. It's migrants that come to New Zealand from India and various other countries, and they end up being taxi drivers because they can't get jobs with the qualifications they have. So they have some amazing stories to tell us about where they come from, and the rigours they've been under to get to where they are today. So if you do have time, on Friday the 10th of May between 7 and 9 o'clock, do come along to the Aratoy Museum, and it's a Koha entry, and it's very enlightening. We went to the last one. It's quite an enlightening evening, isn't it? We get drinks and nibbles, and yeah, well worth coming along. So if you can manage to come along to Migrant Journeys 2 at Aratoy on Friday the 10th of May between 7 and 9.
But it's always amazing.
Entry,
next time you hop into a taxi, it could be being driven by a highly qualified engineer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a surgeon. But their qualifications, unfortunately, aren't recognised in this country. But so be it.
And what have you got to talk about there,
I've got
Rob?
the Featherston Booktown,
Yep.
which is going to be on the 10th to the 12th of May. For a full programme details, visit booktown.nz. And you can purchase tickets from eventfinder.co. And there are several sub-events happening within this thing. So it should be good. But Featherston Booktown, there are books of all kinds.
Featherston has come such a long way, hasn't it?
Yeah,
and the book town itself has proved now it's countrywide and also internationally known now, isn't it?
It's got a name all over the place. Yeah. Yep.
So that's got a huge weekend this week. It starts today, doesn't it?
The 10th, a week today.
Oh.
Today's only the 3rd.
Oh, it's next weekend, is it? Oh, okay. Well, I've got something for next weekend too.
Oh, good.
It's the talent Wairarapa. Now, all the kids are going to be involved in this, I'm sure. It's going to be at the Carterton School in Holloway Street, Carterton. And it's going to be on the 11th of May between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. So again, it's a gold coin entry, so that will be well worth going along to see. And if you've got any littlies that want to be stars, get them all sorted for their acts and get them along there. We'll probably go along and see a couple of children that we know. Hopefully they'll be involved in it. So that's the Talent Wairarapa next Saturday, the 11th of May, between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Gold coin entry at Carterton School, Holloway Street.
Yeah, I did have a list of all the events that are happening in the Booktown, but I seem to have mislaid that. But also on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 10th, 11th, 12th, which is next weekend, the Lions are having a giant 3-day charity book sale at the Masterton AMP Showgrounds on the corner of Fleet and York Street.
Oh, that's always well worth going to.
Yeah, lots of lovely pre-loved books suitable for all ages, jigsaws, magazines, CDs, DVDs, and records, all priced from $1 to $10. And there's FPOS available.
So when's that?
That's next weekend, starting on Friday at 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and 10 till 3 on Sunday. So at the showgrounds.
Okay. Now I do want to mention Pukaha garden tour.
Yes.
They want to be doing a garden tour in October, but they are looking for people that want to open their gardens up to the public. So if you are keen to show your garden, which we hope that a lot of people will be wanting to do, can you please contact Garden Tour at pukaha.org.nz, or phone this mobile number 021 027 24266. That's 021 027 24266. And they'll be very keen to hear from you if you do want to open up your gardens.
They would.
If you've got a really fabulous garden, show it off, guys.
Yeah, and it's all in support of Pukaha,
yes,
which is a very worthy cause, saving native birds and looking after.
Yeah.
And it's trying to keep that area predator free,
Yes.
which is a lot. Now, something I just came across today, tomorrow, believe it or not, in this very building, in this very right next door here, there's going to be, the Wairarapa musicians will be joining forces to perform for 12 hours straight, live on television tomorrow, starting at 12 p.m. Yep, 12 noon they're going to start, and they're going to go right through till midnight. And it's the Property Law Service May Music Marathon. And it was originally conceived as a way to promote Wairarapa TV, but this time round it's more about giving local musicians a platform in the absence of a good local music venue, because now that the town hall's not available, you've only got and King Street's gone.
Yes.
So we're missing sort of somewhere for music to be really sort of appreciated. And it's all concentrated in Carterton at the moment because Carterton Event Centre, where else? But however, this time it's going to be, I take it it'll be in the destination Wairarapa room right next door.
Yeah.
And it's going to be broadcast live on television for the 12 hours on Wairarapa TV, Channel 41, on Freeview Channel 41, as YouTube live, Facebook live, and the Wairarapa TV live and on radio, 92.7 of course, and also live streamed on the Arrow FM website, which is arrowfm.co.nz.
So are these just local bands that want some airtime?
I guess it is. I think it is. Local artists aren't getting it's got Maniac kick off at noon. Courtney Niera is second. NZUMEUS. And then the Adventures of Mike Joffa, The Holy Loner.
Okay.
Fifth Dimension.
So
Mike
there are
Rigg,
quite a few.
Spank, Graffia, Coral Griffiths, Dusk Till Dawns, and Archer Jacks.
So we're going to get quite a wide genre of music then.
Quite a wide variety of genres, yes.
Oh, well, that'll be fun.
Everything from blues to modern jazz.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's about all we've got time for in the way of letting you know what's going on in town, etc. The police are always looking for, I must tell you this, the police are always looking for young ones or people that have been in the workforce that want to join the police force. So you get yourself along to the Carterton Police Station and put yourself forward if you or anyone you know would be interested in joining the police force. It's a perfect job, isn't it? A wonderful job.
Is, yeah.
We take our hats off to people that do want to do this job. So get yourself along there if you or anyone you know is interested in joining the police force.
Now, the other thing, if you're new to Carterton or the district and you're sitting at home wondering what the heck you're going to do for the rest of the day, get in touch with Jill Greathead.
Oh, yeah.
With her volunteer service, because there are plenty of positions out there for volunteers, and I understand that if you're new to the district you may not know what's available and who wants what, But Jill does, so get in touch with Jill Greathead.
And
she
you can, you make yourself really useful to the community too, don't you?
Join the community.
With volunteering, as we do ourselves. It's a wonderful, and you make new friends. If you're new to the area, it's a wonderful way of making new friends. So do get in touch with Jill Greathead on 0274 884 376 or email admin@waivc.org.nz. I'll do that email again, admin, ADMIN, at waive.org.nz. She'd be delighted to hear from you.
She will indeed.
Yeah, she does a great job.
Yeah. And also with new people coming into Masterton in particular, they're looking for what's the word
for
I'm
the
looking
refugees.
For? Yes.
That will be, the refugees are coming in the beginning of 2020, I think it is.
So, beginning of next year. Yeah.
So they're looking for people that want to mentor.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yes, they need to drive. These people need to drive. Now, you don't have to be a driving instructor, but they're looking for mentors. So if you just like to sit beside them in the vehicle, I think the vehicle's been.
I think it's their vehicle.
I think it comes from Honda. I think Honda have.
They're helping that along.
They've put a vehicle forward for it. But and anything you can do, anything in the way of help at all for these people. They've gone through such traumatic lives, and we want to make them as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, because they have learned a lot in their sort of induction into the country at Mungaree.
Yes.
But you know what it's like when you get lifted out of your environment and plonked into something completely different.
Yeah. They need a lot of help.
Holy moly, now what?
Yeah. So if you feel you can help in some way, then get in touch with the council. Or get in touch with Jill Greathead.
Again, with
for
Jill.
that.
Jill would probably help with that too. Yeah.
And she's at the Carterton Council office. Just ring there.
Or ring the Masterton District Council.
Yeah.
They'll also put you right.
Yeah.
Accept your kind offer to help.
Yeah. We all must help in some way.
And watch this town, folks. Watch Masterton, because it's all happening according to Lynn, your worthy mayor.
Yeah, last week we had Lynn on telling us all about it. What have we got on next week? We've got we've got the people from 10 o'clock cookie.
10 o'clock
next
cookie.
Week
How to run a 10 o'clock
to
cookie.
Tell us all the history of the bakery. When they first came and how they've grown.
That's right.
In that
Monique's going to tell us all about how to run the business.
Yes, it'll be interesting.
Everything except the balance sheet and the profit and loss account.
We don't want to know about the money side of it, Rob.
Of course not.
Okay. All right, folks.
I
think that's about it for us for today.
It is indeed.
Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. There are lots of things to do out there, and get yourself involved.
So I'll play this fun piece of music, shall I?
Okay.
You'll love it. Not a lot, but you'll love it. So you've been listening to, or have just missed, Wairarapawatch, a weekly magazine programme on Wairarapa on Arrow FM 92.7, and we wish you good luck with whatever you're doing. And here's a little something to help you log through the day, and we'll see you next week.
Kick it in the guts, Trev. Gumboots, they are wonderful, gumboots, they are swell, 'cause they keep out the water and they keep in the smell. And when you're sitting round at home, you can always tell when one of the Trevs has taken off his gumboots. If it weren't for your gumboots, where would you be? You'd be in the hospital or infirmary, 'cause you would have a dose of the flu or even pleurisy if you didn't have your feet in your gumboots. Now there's rugby boots and racing boots and boots for drinking rum, but the only boots I'm never without are the ones that start with gum. I've got short ones and long ones and some up to me belt. I'm never dressed till I've got on me gum boots. If it weren't for your gum boots, where would you be? You'd be in the hospital or infirmary, 'cause you would have a dose of the flu or even pleurisy if you didn't have your feet in your gum boots. Sing at the opera, my
My gumboots are a must. They help me hit the high notes and protect my feet from a dust. They keep the water well away, so my voice won't get no rust. You won't not never see me without me gumboots.
If it weren't for your gumboots, where would you be? You'd be in the hospital or infirmary, 'cause you would have a dose of the flu or even pleurisy if you didn't have your feet in your gumboots. Da-da-da-dum. Now Rob Muldoon and Rolling, they haven't made a hit. They're ruining the country more than just a bit. If they keep on the way they're going, we'll all be in turds. So you'd better get your feet up your gumboots. If it weren't for your gumboots, where would you be? You'd be in the hospital or infirmary, 'cause you would have a dose of the flu or even pleurisy if you didn't have your feet in your gumboots.